Welcome to the London Outlook for Tuesday, the 12th of March 2024. Starting off with the economic calendar, what we can see is that we have a couple of red folder news events. The first being claimant count change, GBP. This is the potential to validate the Asia high of the day, low of the day based trade idea, provided that it is positive, but this remains to be seen. And then we've got New York news core CPI, which is a red folder significant news event, and thus any trades taken in the London session should be closed by the time of the London lull, which is at 1 p.m. So having said that, let's jump into the charts and unpack how we can use the data in conclusion with the fundamental analysis and technical analysis. So if we start off from the daily, what we can understand is that yesterday we had the bearish candle as expected, given the sixth consecutive bullish candle on Friday, and relief was definitely incoming as expected. However, like I said, the technical analysis narrative didn't really make sense for shorting at the time, irrespective of the probabilistic outcome. So then from a 4H perspective, what we do understand also is that last week Thursday, from this bearish market trend that was confirmed, we now have a bullish market structure created. However, it remains unconfirmed until we body break this level right here to confirm that we are back in a bullish market trend. Having said all of that, what we do need to understand is that we are in an unconfirmed scenario, and thus to trade any longs, for example, we would need three elements. The first being a 4H OB, which we do have right here. Then a substructure high to target, which we have up here, and it's validated because there's evidence of a pullback. And then lastly, we need internal range liquidity along the lines of this area towards the target right here, which I'll just make visible as well. And as you can see, those three elements too are present. So what does this mean for our trading? Well, from a 4H perspective, as you can see, we only have reasons to long. Like I mentioned yesterday, trying to rely on an OB this far back with unrelated structure to what has happened recently is a bit of a hit and miss, and I'd rather follow what's in front of me. And for that reason, I'm primarily looking to trade longs because we have this 4H OB. Obviously, we only have backing for longs from a 4H OB perspective. However, if we body break the substructure level right here, and of course the OB as well, then we are essentially we don't have any backing for longs anymore, and we'll have to wait till this area to look for backing, and then we can consider shorting from OBs in and around this area right here as we develop the 4H pro-trend previously confirmed primary leg. However, that I believe is probably going to materialize a bit later in the day if it does. So we focus on what's happening right now, and the focus is long. The other thing that I didn't point out yesterday is that there's a DST transitional period where the New York or America is going into its DST phase, so it will adjust times by 1 hour forward at this point in time. So New York will start at 2 p.m. my time rather than its current 3 p.m. Frankfurt and London remain the same, as in Europe and London will only change on the last Sunday of March. So for that reason, you just ensure that your session clocks or your session markings are aligned correctly. So in terms of my time, Asia always starts at 1 p.m. because Asia doesn't have any DST changes. Then Frankfurt will start at 9 a.m. London at 10 a.m. So as it was before the DST adjustment for London, and then obviously New York starts at 2 p.m. and the London lull, instead of being a 2-hour period, will just be a 1-hour period from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. The reason why your markings go a bit haywire is because of this end of session on TradingView. So it used to be midnight, and now it's at 11 on a Sunday. So just for context. How are we going to enter in this London outlook? Well, if GBP news is positive and we if GBP news is positive, and we can validate why the pre-Asia low of today should hold because of a positive GBP news, we can then enter. We can enter once one side of the Asia range is liquidated. So either like that or like this. So for now, if we do want to consider how we're going to enter it, we would enter something like this. So something like that is one option. Or alternatively, once the Asia high is broken, honestly, let's just make things simpler and less riskier, because what I do want to point out is while the Asia range starts here, the pre-Asia area also tends to like to get swept with this level. So well, in an ideal situation, we want positive GBP news. Once we get the positive GBP news, then we want the Asia high of the day break. We'll then anchor our fib as such, and then find an appropriate level to then target to the upside. The one thing I do want to point out that the average daily range for March is about 70 pips, and 70% of 70 pips is 49. Obviously, given that it's a red folder news event, it's likely that we'll achieve the full daily range of 70 pips. Okay, so essentially that's the London outlook. Just to summarize, we're only looking for longs because we have for HOV support, we have a substructure high to target, and we have IRL right there. And then in terms of getting into an entry in the London session, idea one, well, we definitely need positive GBP news. If it's negative, we cannot long. We'll have to wait for NFP. Sorry, not NFP, CPI. The idea for London is that the Asia range high will be swept right here, after which we'll have positive news, and then we can anchor our fib as such, and then find an entry at one of the valid fib levels to achieve at least a 1 to 3 by the time of this, and yeah, and that would be it. Alternatively, the other option would be that even though this news comes out positive, price comes down, takes out the Asia liquidity, and by Asia liquidity I mean both of these areas get swept. This then creates a Frankfurt low of the day, at which point London validates the Frankfurt low by breaking the Frankfurt session range high, and then also breaking a valid jock level to validate this leg in the current day, and then of course we can anchor our fib to there and the bottom, and then again find a valid fib entry to ensure that we can reach at least a 1 to 3 at this point in time. So that's pretty much the London outlook. I hope you have a good session, and we'll chat again for the New York session. Remember to close any London-based trades by the time of the London lull, and be patient as we come forward towards the New York session.